All right. Thank you, guys. Happy New Year to you. If you just want to know, I'm not hungover. I didn't even drink last night. We're not about that. We don't need none of that crap. But I did have a good time on New Year's Eve. And we also went 3-0 in our last three college football tier package picks on my website last week at brockpage.com. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on this video that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for my college football tier package picks on my safe and secure website at brockpage.com. And the link for those premium sports picks are in the description section below. Guys, real quick, we're also hitting at 67% in our last 21 college football tier package picks in that very same category. We're having long-term success with that particular package. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into the free content. We're going to start with Penn State taking on Arkansas, 12 o'clock Eastern start time. Now, the Arkansas Razorbacks are -3 with the total at 49. Now, the Razorbacks played some pretty good football down the home stretch here. Winners of 4 out of their final 5 ball games of the regular season. They also went 3-0 against the spread in their last 3 straight as well. The Razorbacks did a real nice job running the football this season as they averaged over 215 yards a game on the ground. Meanwhile, defensively, these guys were led by defensive back Monteric Brown, who had 5 interceptions along with a forced fumble and 53 total tackles. And speaking of tackles, Bumper Poole had 120 of them this season, along with teammate Grant Morgan, who had 98 tackles himself. Arkansas is taking on a Penn State team who lost 5 out of their last 7 games of the 2021 season. And that includes a loss to Illinois during that span. That was like a 20 overtime game. They only scored 18 points in that matchup. Now, top players, Jahan Dotson and Jaquan Brisker, they are sitting this one out here. They're getting ready for the big leagues. And I'll tell you what, they really could use someone like Dotson to throw to, because these guys have done a lackluster job running the football. And as a matter of fact, Penn State currently ranks 118th in the country in rush yards per contest. The Lions also rank 122nd in second quarter scoring as well. So keep that in mind if you're looking to fire on a prop bet or something like that. Now, total-wise, 5 out of Penn State's last 6 ball games fell under the posted number. Meanwhile, Arkansas saw 3 out of their last 5 fall under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward Arkansas -3, under 49. Next ball game, it is going to be Iowa versus Kentucky. And that's going to be a 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Kentucky is -3, totals 44. Now, the Wildcats did a real nice job of running the football this season. As a matter of fact, they averaged over 205 yards a game on the ground. Chris Rodriguez rushed for nearly 1,300 yards and averaged 6.2 yards a carry. Now, Rodriguez also averaged 106 yards a game rushing as well. This Wildcat offense scored over 33 points a game this year on average. Meanwhile, defensively on the other side of the football, Kentucky had a top 20 rush defense. So a lot of good things on both sides of the football for the Wildcats. They're taking on an Iowa team who struggled to move the football this season, and they actually rank 123rd in the nation in offensive yards per game. Now, the Hawkeyes threw for just $177 per contest, and they also rank 111th in rushing. The Hawkeyes have also been held to 17 points or less in 4 out of their last 7 outings. And when it comes to the injury report, Hankins is questionable. Is it Hankins or Haskins? Hankins is questionable. Goodson is out. Meanwhile, for Kentucky, Ali and Epps are sitting this one out themselves. When it comes to the total in this one, oddly enough, Iowa did see their last 4 straight all get over the posted number. Meanwhile, Kentucky went 4-1 to the over in their last 5. I'm going to lean toward Kentucky -3 and the over 44. Next ball game, it is going to be Oklahoma State versus Notre Dame, 1 o'clock Eastern start time. Notre Dame is -1 with the total at 45.5. But despite winning a bunch of football games this season, Notre Dame's going to work here today without Williams and Hamilton. And they also may have to go to work without Mwala and Kali on the defense as well. And although there's really not much bad I can say about the Irish, they had a great year. And like I said, they won a bunch of games. But they do tend to start slow, as they currently rank 89th in first quarter scoring. And although quarterback Jack Cohn was very efficient this year, he threw for just like a little bit over 2,600 yards, and he also got sacked 30 times. So like, he was good, he was efficient, but he wasn't like stellar. You know what I mean? He wasn't like over the top, just like overly impressive. He was good, he was solid. Wouldn't lose a game for you, but he wasn't overly impressive. I don't know. But anyway, they're taking on an Oklahoma State team who successfully covered the number in 9 out of their last 10 ball games. And they have one of the best defenses in the country. The Cowboys currently rank in the top 3 in fewest yards allowed per contest, and they're giving up only 16 points a game. Oklahoma State's also limiting their opponents to less than 90 yards a game on the ground. Colin Oliver, he had 11 and a half sacks this season, along with 28 total tackles. Meanwhile, Malcolm Rodriguez led the program in tackles with 118 of them, along with 3 sacks. And although a lot of folks are going to be fixated on this Cowboy defense, just keep in mind that offensively, these guys are no slouch either. The Cowboys scored 23 points or more in 8 out of their last 10 ball games. That's certainly enough, that's certainly enough points to be scoring with a defense as good as Oklahoma State. 23 points will get you the W if you have a defense as good as the Cowboys' defense has been. Now, injury-wise, Cassidy, Warren, and Anderson are questionable to play for Oklahoma State. 2 out of the Cowboys' last 3 ball games fell under the posted number. 6 and 3 to the under in their last 9. Meanwhile, Notre Dame saw 3 out of their last 4 fall under the posted total themselves. I'm going to lean toward Oklahoma State +1 and the under 45.5. I just noticed I sweat a lot more now that I'm standing. I used to sit. I sat for like 3 years. Now I'm standing again. I get hot. I'm sweaty. But anyway, next game, Utah, Ohio State, 5 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Ohio State's -4 with the total at 64.5. But despite being favored in this one, the Buckeyes have failed to cover in 3 out of their last 5 ball games. And they gave up over 24 points per contest on average during that stretch. This Ohio State defense has done a mediocre job of stopping the pass this season. As a matter of fact, the Buckeyes currently rank 98th in the nation in pass yards allowed per game. And although Ohio State only lost 2 games this year, one of those losses was to a Pac-12 opponent in Oregon. Well, a side note, I don't know what made me think of that, but that Ohio State-Oregon game that happened earlier in the year, I was in a golf tournament. It was a 4-man scramble, and I watched that game. I watched the entire game on my smartphone in the golf cart, and anyway, I guess that's not a great story, but I watched the Buckeyes lose while I was playing golf on my phone in the cart. Bad story. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, I felt like you needed to know. And speaking of Oregon, they got spanked by Utah twice in the span of 3 weeks to close out the 2021 season. The Utes beat the Ducks 38-7 in their November meeting, and then they spanked them 38-10 in the Pac-12 championship. The Utes have played very good defensively this season, as they currently rank 13th in the country in total yards allowed per contest. Utah is also holding their opponents to just 195 passing yards per game. Devin Lloyd has 4 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, and 8 total sacks for the Utes. Now, Lloyd also leads the program in tackles with 107. This guy does it all. Meanwhile, Mika Tafua has 9.5 sacks on the year himself, along with 47 tackles. This powerful Utah defense allows only 20 points a game. Meanwhile, offensively, the Utes are grinding it out for over 215 yards a game on the ground. Now, injury-wise, it looks like the Utes are mostly healthy for today's contest. Meanwhile, for Ohio State, Garrett, Olave, Petit Frere, and Wilson. They are all sitting this one out for the Buckeyes. That is a business decision there. Now, total-wise, 3 out of the Buckeyes' last 5 ball games did fall under the posted number. Meanwhile, Utah went 3-0 to the under in their last 3 straight themselves. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward Utah +4 and the under 64.5. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Baylor versus Ole Miss, 8:45 Eastern start time. The Ole Miss Rebels are -2, totals 58. But despite being favored in this one, I do have some concerns about this Ole Miss defense. For one, they've done a really poor job of stopping the run this season, as they've allowed over 180 yards a game on the ground. And as a matter of fact, the Rebels currently rank 102nd in the country in stopping the run. They also rank 101st in total yards allowed per game. And as high-powered as this Rebel offense is, they are facing a Baylor defense who does have the ability to slow them down. It's a very good Baylor defense. The Bears gave up only 19 points per contest on average this year, and they're 9th in the country in takeaways, kind of a bend but don't break defense. They tend to get themselves in trouble, and then they just put down the clamps and crush your spirit when you're about to score or kick a field goal. They'll really deter you from getting points on the board. Now, JT Woods has 4 interceptions, a pick 6, and 53 total tackles. Meanwhile, Terrell Bernard, he has 86 tackles on the season, along with 5.5 sacks as well. Baylor's currently 18th in the nation in stopping the run. Meanwhile, offensively, the Bears have been very good running the football. They've gained 215 yards a game on the ground themselves. Now, total-wise, Baylor saw overs with TCU, BYU, and West Virginia here this season. Meanwhile, Ole Miss saw the total get over against the likes of Arkansas and Tulane. I'm going to lean toward Baylor +2 and the over 58. With that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are currently 3-0 in our last 3 college football tier package picks on that website. Swept the board last week in our 3 premium picks in that package. I like Arkansas -3, under 49. Kentucky -3, over 44. Oklahoma State +1, under 45.5. Utah +4, under 64 and a hook. And for my next and final free pick for the video, I'm going to lean toward Baylor +2 and the over 58. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website at brockpage.com. And the reason why you want to check me out here today is that it is a max value Saturday. And what I mean by that is my website, we essentially use the Patreon platform. Patreon is a crowdfunding website. And so the way that Patreon does their billing, they bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you guys end up getting a package here today on the 1st of January on my website, you're going to get access to those picks all the way through the end of January. You're going to get 31 straight days of content if you sign up for that site. Once again, those picks are the games that I personally have my action on. So what I'll do is on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate. I'll give you a side and total on every single game. But if you want to see the games I'm actually playing, the games that I'm actually betting on, there's only one way to do that, and that is to sign up for a membership on my website at brockpage.com. Now, guys, we're 3-0 in our last 3 college football tier package picks on that website. That's a red-hot package. And if you guys want to access every single pick that I give out on that website, you're going to want to sign up for my board member tier, because board members get access to every single pick that I give out on that website all the way through the end of December. Once again, guys, I tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better, and there is no earlier in the month than the 1st of the month. So this is when you want to strike today. But most importantly, guys, regardless of all that, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. This is where it's at, the free content. Got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Once again, Happy New Year's to you. It's 2022. We are committed here at Brock Page Productions to continue to get better Continue to grow the channel, continue to win more games. We are committed to just getting better each and every day, each and every year. 2022 is going to be the best year yet. I don't guarantee anything, but I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that that happens. But anyway, guys, Happy New Year's to you. Best of luck to you. I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.